The Hansa Fish is proudly brought to you by Hansa Pilsner. The best paddlers in the country and a fair smattering of the world's best converge on Craddock in the heart of the Canoe for the most prized domestic river marathon title, the Hansa Fish.
I'm looking forward to a new race with Jasper, and hopefully we can put on a good show.
I'm really glad to be back in South Africa, especially in Fish, for 3 years.
I'm a little bit worried about the hectic start and crazy run across the wall then.
45Ks, as you said, there's no hiding on a 45K day. You know, the combinations that have done the work and are ready for the race will be the ones that come out on top. So I think we've spent some time in the boat after Brandon's World, so we're just hoping that our time in the boat sort of pays off.
As far as the women are concerned, one crew to watch. Defending champs Abby Solms and Anna Kozishkova, or Adi and Adamova as they were when they won here in 2013.
Anna and I actually have had quite a good build-up. She came out 2 weeks ago and we managed to do the pre-fish. Though I think the river has changed slightly just with tree blocks and whatnot, but at least it got us time to settle back in a boat together and put in some good training just ahead of this race.
Plenty of good women's crews waiting to pounce on the smallest mistake, including Abby's twin sister, Alex.
Yeah, she's the best. I trust her completely, and we have a good similar mindset, so we have a lot of fun, and yeah, I really enjoy paddling with Alex.
All eyes on the Lamar start now as the A batch comes under starters' orders. From the dam wall portage, the action starts with the double trouble shoots, and then at the 9 kilometre mark, Keith's flyover, the race's biggest obstacle. Soutpans's Drift Rapid is 29 kilometres in with the finish along 48 kilometres downstream. 5 times doozy winner Andy Burkett was partnering Craddock-raised local Greg Lowe, who knows the importance of the start as well as anyone.
On the dam, you always just want to get away cleanly, and the guys always fast across the dam, but everyone sort of thought the internationals are known to pull across the dam, and we took the pull, and eventually the internationals came fast, and we hopped onto their wave across, and we're totally recovered when we hit the portage.
We knew Hank and Jasper were definitely going to be firm favourites. The Czech crew gave us a good hiding at World Marathons, so we also expected to see them up at the front of the race. As far as our own strengths go, we were not putting too much pressure on ourselves and just hoping to have a good fun race and go as hard as we could and just see how the combination worked during the race.
And working it was. Burkett and Lowe leading into double trouble. Lowe driving and unusually Burkett occupying the back seat of the boat.
Probably 2 races in my life I've ever sat at the back, so it's a new learning curve for me, and it wasn't so easy a task in the beginning, but I really enjoyed it behind Greg, and he's a great guy to follow in the boat, and he's so skilled when it comes to the fish. He knows exactly where he's going, trying to choose the best lines to save the most amount of energy and keep the speed going in the boat.
On board now with Jasper Mocker and Hank McGregor as they go into double trouble. No probs for the 2014 World Gold medalists, those two already well clear of the chasers. Brandon van der Walt and Stu McLaren determined to change that, but they've got their hands full with some class acts snapping at their rudder. to Grass Ridge Dam for C Batch, unique as it shortlists all the potential women's gold medalists, and by definition it's the smallest batch of the day. But right from the gun, the defending K2 champs Solms and Kozushkova start to exert their steely grip on proceedings. Anna running the dam wall portage really well, and that meant they had a lead of some note by the time they hit double trouble. That's pretty much a masterclass on how to shoot double trouble. A great confidence booster for Abby and Anna as they scamper away alone. Behind them, a fascinating duel was starting to play itself out that would see the top 10 women's crews changing places regularly throughout the race. Bridget Hartley and Michelle Byrne moving into second place solidly and clear of the scrap behind them. Nine kilometers in at Keith's flyover, the river was churning with 27 cubics of water being squeezed under the famous concrete bridge. Drama is guaranteed here, and the seconds just praying it's not with their paddlers. Greg Lowe and Andy Burkett ace Keith's flyover, with Hank McGregor and Jasper Mocker hanging on to them doggedly. Behind them, the Czech Republic aces Jakub Adam and Michael Odvarko have surged into third, just ahead of the brothers Andrew and Alan Houston. The Housties getting very close to the Czechs and actually landing on their back deck in Keith's momentarily. Keith's is a blur of adrenaline and nerves. There's a fair dose of luck involved as well, as the might of the river is concentrated into this rapid. The first few boats escaping Keith's unscathed. There's a real buzz over the return of Len Jenkins to the race that he used to dominate, racing with Soweto rising star Siseko Ntondini. Keith's sorts out the wheat from the chaff ruthlessly. Tulani Mbanjwa and Nhlanhla Qele doing some reverse parking in Keith's, but that was way better than some of the others to follow. To the women, and the calculated battle plan of Abby and Anna involved a fast start to earn them a lead that would allow them to portage Keith's flyover. A quick glance over Abby's shoulder confirms that decision has worked out perfectly. Approaching 2 hours, the leaders get to the landmark Soutpansdrift Rapid. After taking them down the sneaky discovered last year, Lowe and Burkett agreed to guide McGregor and Mocker down the long stretch of white water. McGregor and Mocker concentrating on not making any mistakes here. It's a nasty and time-consuming swim if they do. Soutpansdrift in the winter had changed, and now a full river flow saw a strong right-hand lateral wave that catches Lowe and Burkett by surprise.
I stayed a little bit too far right going down the rapid, and our nose got caught in the little stopper at the bottom, and we spun out, and it cost us a bit of time, but we stayed calm and managed to close that gap a bit later.
Greg said, let's not catch them too quickly because you're going to just kill yourselves catching them with a full boat of water. So we just stayed calm, pumped the water out our boat, and eventually caught them after a bit.
McGregor and Mocker gifted the lead, while behind them the scrap for third was as ferocious as ever, with the Czechs Adam and Odvarko really asserting themselves. They get pushed around by the water at the bottom of Soutpans, and unbelievably they get shunted out of their boat. The first of hundreds of people to be caught by these potent lateral waves on the day. But this is panic stations time, as they now have to hold off the challengers for the podium place that they currently hold. Despite his lack of base training, Len Jenkins is flying, with Ntondini lapping up every second of the learning experience, paddling behind the Fisher King. Tom Skilperut and Dav Mocker right in the mix as well. They are tracking Len Jenkins and Siseko Ntondini until they became the second swimmer in the volatile waves at the bottom of Soutpans. And a few moments later, they would wrap their boat on the island below the rapid. Confounding the pundits, Jenkins' dream of a podium finish is alive and well, while Dav Mocker can only rue what might have been and where they could have finished on day one. Soutpans changing provided a real spectacle on day one, with 65 boats swimming in the top 5 batches alone. A reminder that the river is in a constant state of flux and already dishing out a dose of humility to the passing paddlers. Let's track Abby Soms and Anna Kozichkova as they take on Soutpans. Two small girls, they are solid in the boat, and Abby is picking some really fine lines down this moody rapid. And the grin at the bottom just reminds us that they are enjoying every moment of this outing together. But for London Olympics bronze medalists Bridget Hartley and Mish Byrne, the experience in Soutpans was a little different. Burkett and Lowe took their chances at the put-in after the Katkop Weir portage 9 kilometres from the end, and it earned them a 2.5 minute lead and a new Stage 1 record.
Yeah, I just wanted to have fun out there today and to have such a jaw and pull off the win on Stage 1 of fish. Stoked.
The women's stage record falls as well, as Soms and Kozichkova raced inside the awesome time set up by Mish Muruskova and Katerina Vachikova in 2006.
Every race for me is step, so yeah. And I'm happy that we had such a nice race today, and Soutpans was amazing. She's the best driver.
So day one seeing records tumble and the title race shortlisted to 2 crews. The brothers Andrew and Alan Houston in the top 10 as the leading under-23s. A mercurial day for the women's defending champs, but a great result in third as well for Kana Peak and Donna Hutton, taking 6 minutes off the junior girls record. "48 kilometres of unforgettable paddling under the Karoo sun, with race committee boss Peter Marais paddling out of his boots on day one.
Definitely. There's so many organisations involved, from Roundtable, the farmers, the Fish River Canoe Club, tennis club here. Everybody come together and provide for the paddlers and provide a great weekend.
And it was certainly living up to that expectation. Day one done. It's all downhill to Craddock from here. Day 2 has been turned on its head with a popular innovation as the slower batches go off first in a reversed order start. They get to enjoy the pick of the river and weather conditions at 7 a.m. while the leaders go at 10:30. Day 2 is 12 kilometres shorter and a little easier. The first of 3 weirs comes up after 23 kilometres, followed by 12 k's of fun, climaxing with the famous Craddock Weir, 3.5 k's from the end. Can McGregor, who's the defending K2 champ, catch the leaders, or will it be the eagerly anticipated local victory that's been 17 years in the making?
Our plan today is to catch the 2 boats in front of us and try to get back to 3rd position. When we lost this position yesterday in Soutpans. We have quite strong field of paddlers, I think, especially in river races and marathon paddling, ocean paddling. So it's hard to race against these guys like Andy Birkett, Hank McGregor.
As soon as we crossed the line yesterday, I think you get 2 types of people. You get people who would say, okay, that's nice, we'll just enjoy our second day and take our second place. But Hank and I aren't like that. We, both of us, immediately our minds switched over to today, and the whole day we were thinking about today. So the whole day yesterday. So we're ready, and you don't know what's going to happen at the end of the day, but one thing that we are going to do is give it our best shot.
2.5 minutes is a dream lead for Burkett and Lowe at the start of stage 2. The leading women enjoying the breathing space of a 6-minute advantage. Two-thirds of the way through the 36-kilometre day, the first of the 3 weirs, gauging weir.
With the weirs, it was just trying to not make any mistakes. We went over all of them pretty slowly and just try to get through them cleanly.
Initially we made a bit of a gap on them, and then they stayed about 60 metres behind us for a while, and then we thought, flip, these guys are going to come back and catch us. And eventually the elastic broke and we started making some decent ground on them. But you never know with Hank. He's such a good tactician that you can think that Hank's tired, and meantime he's actually much stronger than you are. So you don't know what's going on.
The race for the last spot on the podium, Brandon van der Walt and Stu McLaren trying to outpace or else outsmart Len Jenkins and Siseko Ntondini. Meanwhile, the leading women, Abby and Anna, come into gauging weir flying down the first 2/3 of the final stage. And they look rock solid and probably unaware that they are still inside the overall women's race record set by Maruskova and Vachikova. Behind them, Bridget Hartley and Mish Byrne are chasing hard as you would expect, but gauging weir has other plans. Frustration for the chasers. The Marlow Causeway Portage and Greg Lowe and Andy Burkett are relaxed and about to get splits telling them that they are now pulling away with only 10 k's to go. McGregor and Mocker, who have just announced that they plan to challenge Doozy 2016, not easing up for a moment. Marlow shoot 8 kilometres from the end, and Lowe and Burkett ace it, enjoying every moment of the obstacle. And the same for McGregor and Mocker. In the dice for third, Jenkins has a plan, and he gunned it to get to Marlow first ahead of Stomach and Stu. Back to the women, Abby and Anna coast into the Marlow Portage. It's been a remarkable race for these two mates, and now we can safely say that they will defend their K2 title with some ease. Into Marlow shoot, these two so solid in the boat. On the outskirts of town lies Craddock Weir, the last major challenge and the signature obstacle of the Hansa fish. The Lowe brothers pioneered the line down the steep left-hand side, and Greg and Andy make it look so easy. In fact, the decision to shoot Craddock had been up in the air.
I'd said to Greg before the stage that whatever he wants to do, we'll do. It's his call.
We decided that a swim at Craddock would still be better than a portage at that stage.
It's a really nice thing that it's a reverse order start, so there are so many people watching there, and it's such a nice vibe. So then I think we would have really regretted if we portaged Craddock.
Well, yeah, you always think once you're over Craddock where you're pretty much at the finish line, but Andy and I were still saying to each other, well, it's not over until we cross that line.
Yeah, we didn't say too much to each other. We were both quite nervous we were going to throw this away. So we were just trying to focus on keeping the boat upright and getting to the finish.
Hank McGregor and Jasper Mocker into Craddock on a straightish line, and it works out beautifully. Japes then taking some time to salute his droves of fans on the bank before engaging gear again. There's been a shake-up as Jenkins and Ntondini get to Craddock in third, and there's no sign of Brandon van der Walt and Stu McLaren. Len and Siseko safely through Craddock Weir, and the crowd realises Siseko Ntondini is about to become the first black paddler to make it onto the fish podium. Now the Czechs Jakub Adam and Michael Odvarko are in fourth. They charge Craddock Weir. It's the first time shooting this obstacle for them. Apparently, Van der Walt and McLaren have lost their steering after pegging a big rock on the Craddock sneak, and they've been forced to portage Craddock, and they are leaking places. Yep, the confirmation of that, Stomach and Stu putting in after portaging Craddock. From a challenging third, they're in fifth now. Tom Skilperud and Dav Mocker super cautious going into Craddock in the boat that they had wrapped the day before, and they make it neatly. Tulani Mbanjwa and Nhlanhla Tayle opt for the safe portage around the big drop. The race for gold medals, and Craddock always sorts this out. Juniors Jan van der Westhuizen and Mark Keeling leading as they go over, but they shatter the back deck of their boat, race over. Then Spunelo Kwela and Banetsi Nkuza try the left line with disastrous consequences. And while Banesti is trying to swim away, he has Phineas Zulu and Alex Roberts dropping over the apex and almost collecting Banetsi. Scary stuff at Craddock Weir. The finish with the reverse order start back marker just in front of them, Andy Burkett and Greg Lowe get a hero's welcome as they win the Hansa Fish 2015 and the local win that everyone has been baying for.
Yeah, every year everyone always, says, is this the year locals going to win it? And unfortunately it hasn't been in the past, but yeah, I've had a new partner every K2 year for the last few years, and obviously found the strongest one this year. Yeah, look, we grew up watching Daniel Conradi winning this race many years ago, and yeah, and to get to the finish first is awesome, and to do it with a good mate like Andy makes it even more special.
I've always wanted to get a fish, didn't know if it was possible, and it's just great paddling with a guy like Greg. He's a really strong paddler, and happy to do it today.
Back upriver to Craddock Weir, where the early morning starters create an awesome vibe as the leading ladies come in to the pre-planned portage around Craddock Weir. Smashing the stage and race record, this has been a women's K2 performance that this 34-year-old race has never seen the likes of. The world champ is the fish champ, once again.
No, I mean, Anna and I are super chuffed. The race, it was sort of textbook stuff, no problem from start to finish. It all just worked out according to plan.
And in technically difficult water as well. It wasn't an easy fish.
No, not at all. I mean, start punts yesterday was pretty big, and yeah, Anna and I just went through, perfectly through everything. We're so solid and confident going through all the rapids. So definitely improvement on our last K2 fish.
How cool does it feel to be world champion and fish champion at the same time?
It's nice feeling. Perfect, thank you.
I don't know, call it beginner's luck. Again, done day 2 or this year, the whole year, didn't have one swim. Again, had a local villa and my partner Igor, my mate. So we were good in the boat again, and didn't swim at all. So phenomenal on the river again, and a great experience day 2. Almost lost it there at Craddock Weir today, but I don't know if somehow we pulled it back, and we went for it.
With the wind howling and the ever-present Karoo sun baking down, each class prize winner gets welcomed home in this grandstand finish that is a great way to end a great event. Prize giving on a day where the records tumble. Abby Solms and Anna Kazushkova soaking it up before the new men's K2 champs Andy Burkett and Greg Lowe get to celebrate. A 6-minute plus victory margin in the end, the Czechs 4th and the under-23s Houstons in 7th, the top 9 all inside 5 hours. A new race record for Abby and Anna, Kana Peak and Donna Hutton lopping 13 minutes off the junior girls record, and Marianne Young and Kim Peak also breaking their age group record. It's a weekend of thrills and spills and camaraderie wrapped up in awesome Canoe hospitality. That's why the paddlers vote with their feet and return year after year to the unique appeal of the Hansa Fish River Canoe Marathon. The Hansa Fish was proudly brought to you by Hansa Pilsener.